episode 17 of Talkoffamepod podcast. I'm Kylie. If you haven't noticed, we have the wonderful Kaylee Federmann with us today. But instead of me introducing you, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us more about what you do?
Yeah, well, firstly, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm very excited to be here. I know it's taken quite a while for us to work this out, so I'm really happy to be here. Like she said, my name is Kaylee Federmann. I'm a singer-songwriter. I do pop music. I'm currently based in Boston, doing a lot of shows and a lot of songwriting. I travel to Nashville and LA a lot to do a lot of work with different producers and writers. I'm currently releasing a bunch of music. I have a new song out right now called Bring Me Home. And another one that's coming later in 2 months, I think, like first week of December. And that's pretty much me, just constantly writing and singing.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was like your reaction toward bringing you home? Like, how were you feeling about it, like coming out?
I'm really excited about it. It was a very, very old song, actually. I worked with this one producer and we did two songs together, and those songs are they're very special to me, but they're also very old. So it was interesting to get it out because it was like, wow, this song I've been holding on to for like 3 years. So it was really exciting to finally like get it out and like see if people like it. So
Yeah, like if you like bring this out to the world, I know it's old, but I'll try to bring it out there.
yeah, well, because it's like it's new to people who haven't heard it. Like they're hearing it for the first time, and I've heard it for like the 10 millionth time, you know?
Yeah. So it's like
So,
new for people in the world, but like not new for you.
right. Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of like, oh boy.
So over the last year, we've been stuck in quarantine due to COVID. What is something that I did over the last year that you haven't had a chance to do before COVID happened?
Um, I mean, the bigger shows for sure. Like I just did a show at the Middle East, which was really fun. So having people there, there really wasn't like that much that I couldn't do because like Zoom sessions were happening. So I'd do like Zoom rights with people. I wasn't traveling as much, obviously, but now, now I travel a lot more. So I go to Nashville and LA a lot. I'm actually going back to LA on Friday.
Oh,
So,
you're lucky.
yeah, but no, there's really not much that like I feel like I couldn't do other than like performing, like the bigger
Yeah.
show. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Like what is your favorite thing about performing, being able to like perform now since the world is like opening up again?
Um, Seeing people in person, I think that there were just so many live streams happening, and I was like, I can't do another live stream. I think people also just kind of got sick of them. Like they wanted to see people in person and they wanted to feel connected to them because that's like a big part of going to a show. So, that was one part that I really missed, and that is really special to be back is to like see people's live reactions and to just kind of like feed off of their energy and be like, wow, like you like the song, or like maybe you didn't like the song, or like you reacted in some way, like you felt something. So I think
Yeah.
that's
Like
what was
that's like the one thing that like the world was kind of missing during this whole thing because like people like a lot of singers, bands, or whatever went on tour, and that's basically the biggest part about people's lives to go to see concerts and all these stuff. And like last month, it's almost been a month, but like I went to my first show in over a year since COVID. I went to see the Jonas Brothers, and like
oh amazing.
tour being so like bittersweet because like I remember I just wanted to see a show or a concert or whatever for over a year. I'm like, what
Yeah.
emotional. I was like, oh my God. But like that's like the worst part because like all of us are really busy people. And then once COVID hit, I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I am
Yeah.
well, things on my schedule, what am I gonna do? Like
I know. Everything just comes back and hits, and you're like, wow, I have a million things to do. Like, I don't even know where to start.
yeah, yeah. And like at first in quarantine, we're like, what are we gonna do? Like we're like, how are we supposed to keep ourselves busy? That's kind of how everyone is. Like once quarantine started, it's like, how are we gonna do? I can't see nobody. Like we supposed to stay in our house. How is this gonna work out? Like how are we gonna survive this right now? Like how is this happening right now to us?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you mentioned before, you are a singer. What made you want to become a singer?
That's a good question. I don't know. I fell into it so long ago that I don't even remember why I got into it. I think I really I learned by listening. So I really enjoyed music and I really enjoyed listening to music. And the way that I learn is like I'll like listen and then I'll like spit back out what I hear. So I would just listen to music and then just start singing and I'd be like, oh, I really like this because I understood how to do it. And I felt like I could do it more naturally than like other things. So I just kind of gravitated to it. My dad was a singer, so we used to sing in choirs together. I think I had watched like a Taylor Swift documentary or something when I was like 8 or 9, and I was like, wow, that looks cool. I want to do that. So I kind of got inspired by that, and then I just like gravitated towards music because I really liked listening to it. Um, and then yeah, I just kind of like went from there. Went into a little
Oh, that's
section.
awesome. Like that's how like people are like for singers or other people like that in the studio mostly like watch like things like movies and stuff and they feel inspired by what they're seeing on screen and what or like what other people are doing. And like music has become really a big part in everyone's lives. Like since of COVID, we're listening to new music, everyone's like dropping music now, like
Yeah,
it's becoming like a better thing now. Like probably some music is not as popular as I used to, like that. And like music is a huge part of my life naturally. Like I don't know what I would do about music. Like I had like every second every day I'm either singing or dancing to a song
yeah, yeah,
because like, I always have like a song in my head. I'm always like, he's like, there's like always like a song that I'm always like, oh, this song's amazing. Can I repeat it? So
yeah.
it's always like some part, like mostly over this last year, it really become like a bigger part in every people's lives and they have more time and trying to listen more music or discover kind of more artists, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot easier to discover people, especially like with TikTok and stuff,
Yeah.
um, because there's just like a huge outlet. Like I think so many people realize that they want to be creative, or they just were creative and nobody really saw them or knew about them. So then like TikTok happened and everyone's like, "Oh my God, there's a lot of talented people in the world." So
Mhm.
it's been a lot easier to like find music, which is great. It's also been a lot harder to compete with that kind of music because then you're like, "Oh my God, there's so many fucking talented people in the world," and you're like, how do I compete with that, you know?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
can be scary for sure.
Yeah, like definitely. Like over the last year, TikTok got like really popular over the last year, and like you said before, it really became like you discover more artists and stuff. That's kind of how Charlie D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio came out from TikTok, and now they're huge stars and everything. So like that's really like why TikTok is such a kind of good platform for basically us as like teens, young adults, is that we can discover and try to look up to them. I can't speak, but like it's definitely a very competitive business for sure because like you always be like, oh, I want to be this person. How can I be as good as this person? Or like, why am I not as good as this person? So
Yeah.
that's kind of what it's like about this business is that it's very, very competitive for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very competitive industry.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. Yeah, like I always people always tell me like, oh, like I don't know if you should be part of this industry. You very competitive. You won't last. So I'm like, how do you know I won't last? Like this is
mm-mm. Like, yeah, how is, and it, well, like, if they lasted, that doesn't mean that you can't last, or like, if they did it, you can do it kind of thing. It's like, it's all what you make it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something. Because the best part is like, when they tell you you can't do something, then you do it, and you're like, wow, I just proved you wrong.
yeah,
So,
this proves you wrong, right? That's what I do. I'm like, oh, sorry, buddy. You might not be able to, but I can. So,
you're just
buddy, so
like,
sorry, but
okay, watch me.
yeah, watch me prove you wrong. You might
Yeah.
take a couple of years, but I'm gonna prove you wrong. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so while you write your songs, do you have anything that you do to help you write your song or what you put into your song?
Um, yeah, I think like I guess process wise, I'm very concept and melody based. So I'll usually have some sort of concept in mind. I'll be like, okay, I kind of want to write about this, and then I'll be like, if I'm writing it by myself, I'll either like pick up the guitar or go to the piano or just start like producing something out, like a really basic track, and then just start writing over it and be like, okay, like these are the sections. And sometimes I'll be more like structure based and I'll like I'll put like a melody to the whole song just over like da na 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 or something like that, and then I'll just fill in the words, but I'll already know like, okay, this is the storyline and this is how I kind of want it to go. But if I'm writing with like other people, then I'll usually be like, well, what do you want to write about, or like how do you want to start, and to kind of ask them where they are comfortable, and then we'll kind of go off from there. But it's kind of different each time, which is makes it really interesting.
Yeah, like every like song process or like a different singer, like writing processes is different for every singer mostly, but like it's very kind of like every song is like a different really process because you don't know what to write about or what to start off with. But like
Mhm.
what song had for you that you wrote or that came out or haven't came out was kind of like the most like kind of difficult for you to like write?
Um, hmm. That's a good question. I don't know what song was like the most difficult. All the songs that are out now, I wouldn't say were like difficult songs to write. I think recently I've had a few songs where I've gone back and like revised them a lot, which I hate. I really don't like revising songs. I like writing the song and being like, it's done. That's the song, you know?
Yeah, I'm the
Um,
same exact person.
yeah, but like going back, I like going back when I'm producing. I like going back and being like, obviously, I want to like change the mix and like see what I can make better because like I'm not like a producer. I like to produce and I want to get better at it. So like that I always like going back and revising things. But like lyrically and melody wise, I don't always like going back. I'm kind of like, oh, that's the song. But recently I've been doing a lot more of that and it's gotten a lot easier. And you start to enjoy it because you start to like learn how to do it. Like people don't like doing things that they don't know how to do because it's hard. So it's been easier to like learn how to revise stuff, which is very important. But I don't know if there's one specific song that I'm like, oh, this one was really tricky. I've had a recent project for one of my classes that was like, it was a hard song to like write because we were trying to get super specific in all these details because we were writing for somebody else. Um, and it was very tricky to get like the exact style that they wanted lyrically. So I would say that was probably the hardest song for that class.
Yeah, probably. Like, it's like harder to write for a different person because you don't know what you actually want in specific of a song. Like it's easier to write for yourself because you
Yeah,
know what you want. And so like what you like you said you liked producing and stuff, like what you actually think about like taking up producing in general or you just will stick with like singing producing.
I would. I really love it. For me, I can't sit in front of a computer for like 6 hours and just produce because I'll go crazy. Or just mix. I cannot just sit there and mix for like hours. But I can like produce for a while and then like take a break and do something else. So I don't think that I actually I have no idea. I would love to like be my own producer. Like I love working with other producers, but I love um doing it myself and like being a part of the production. And like even if I just made the demo and then someone else took it and like brought it to life, which is what a lot of the songs like Anything Can Happen and I'll Follow and Her Song, those are all songs that I actually produced, but then I gave to a producer and was like, hey, can you like bring this to life a little bit more? So, and like that means that they change the sounds and maybe they change some of the rhythm or they change like certain things, but all the structure and all the ideas were still there. But I think I would definitely want to get to a place where it's like I made the final production, I made the final mix, I made maybe not the final master because like that's a whole nother thing, but yeah, I would want to be a producer. If someone was like, "Can you produce something for me?" I'd want to get to a place where I can be like, "Yes," you know.
Yeah, yeah. Like since like in the industry right now, there's not a lot of female producers.
Oh.
And so like there's it's amazing to like you would consider it like because like there's not a lot and like men think oh men can only do this job like women can't do this and we're like yeah we could we just don't know if we actually want to pursue what a producer does. Because I'm a very kind of lazy person so I probably wouldn't sit there like you said before to sit there for like 6 hours and be like God, why am I sitting here so long? I'm
It's
so tired. I don't
very
want to say more.
it gets very tedious sometimes depending on what you're doing. Um, so yeah, it's very male dominated. I think a lot of that just has to do with like a lot of women want to be the artist, like they want to be the singer or the writer, or they're just more interested in that. I don't actually think that it's a like you can't do this kind of thing, but
Yeah.
I do think that it is more of like there's just more male producers and they're more
Yeah.
known. So a lot of times when an artist is like, I want to work with a producer, they're gonna go with the one that's more known, which usually is the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's
Yeah, it's
unfortunate.
like yeah, like most likely, like if you want to become like with someone well known, I can't think of any producers on top of my head at the moment. But like every time like there's someone that's known, they're probably like, oh, I want to go to this male producer because he's well known, he's good at what he does. And so like it's always good because singers always women singers are always kind of towards more singing because it's kind of like what they always wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like it's always good because like, it kind of helps kind of show like the younger generation that they can become a producer too, and like we could really use more women producers 100%, and we're rooting for them 100%, and like we can really use some women and root for the men too, but like women can do it
We definitely need more women producers for sure. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, so you wrote some amazing songs throughout your career so far in music. What song you wrote that means the most to you?
That's a good question. I don't know, like of the ones that are out or just in general.
Oh, in general.
Um, I have a song called Can't Come Back that I wrote about my dad, and it's not out, but I really love that song because I wrote it with two other people, but I kind of wrote the whole thing. Like it was very personal to me, and I knew all of the details, and it was about my dad. So I had there were two other people in the room. There was the other producer, and the other writer, and I think they helped kind of structure out the song. But and then the producer like produced out the song, but um, but that one's really special to me. I think um, there's there's a few others that I'm working on now that I'm really excited about that I'm like, oh, I really feel this right now. And I'm actually producing a lot of them out, which is nice. And um, there's one that I'm working on right now called Not Invited, which I'm really excited about because it's just really fun. Um, there's one that I just finished with my friend called Good Actor, and we just submitted it to a contest thing actually. So I'm really excited about that one. But of the ones that are out, I really love I'll Follow because I just think it's really fun. And I like Anything Can Happen because it's of the message. It's very positive. It's a little cheesy. It's supposed to be kind of like, anything can happen. So what? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of meant to be cheesy. So I like that I kind of like did that on purpose instead of being like, oh, my song is just cheesy without meaning it to be like that. Like I purposely made it like we're really happy and we're excited about it.
Yeah,
So
like you kind of like chose how you felt and just put it into like the song.
yeah, it's like you're channeling a negative into a positive, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna like I'm gonna look on the bright side because that's what I want.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I'm looking for my future. Here it is. Here's a song for you.
Right. Yeah.
So, do you have anyone that you look up to with your career in music or just in like general?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are songwriters and artists for sure. Um, I think, let's see, performer wise, I think that Bruno Mars is an amazing performer. I think that Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift are amazing performers. Um, I think that, um, I think Ed Sheeran is an amazing songwriter. I think Luz Capaldi is an amazing songwriter. Old school wise, I love Carole King. I love Elton John. I love the Beatles. I love the Beach Boys. I love Fleetwood Mac. Um, and newer, I love Love and I love Julia Michaels and I love JP Sachs um, and I love Ava Max. Like I just love the sounds that they have in their production. I think it's so recognizable. And I like when you can hear an artist right away and be like, "Yep, I know that that's them." Um, I love uh, oh my God, what is his name? Uh, shoot, I'm blanking on this producer's name, but there are a few producers that I'm like, oh, they're really cool because like you know their sound, like Max Martin and like Dr. Luke and stuff like that. Like you know their sounds a little bit better. Um, yeah. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think that.
we're basically into the same singers. I'm like all about old music and newer music, like Ava Max. I'm really into Bruno Mars. As a kid, I grew up watching him, like listen to his music, and basically John, like everyone. And so like Ava Max, she's amazing. Have you heard the song? I forget what it's called. I think Kings and Queens.
Yeah, Kings and Queens is
Oh,
great.
I love that song. Like that's I usually sing that song a lot. Oh, the kings and the queens on the throne. I usually sing
Yeah.
so much.
She's very catchy. She's got a very recognizable sound. I just adore her voice. I think it's so
Yeah.
beautiful. Um, and I think she's got something really special that a lot of other artists don't really have that are trying to break in. Like I just think she's very unique in like her persona and what she stands for and like her content and stuff. So yeah, I think she's really cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like her music and her voice really stands out to
Mhm.
people that don't have like kind of what she has.
Yeah.
Like she really stands out to most people based on her voice. Because I don't
Yeah.
know how long she's been around, but like she's been around for a couple of years and this she just keeps getting better and better. And
I know, I know. And she just recently it was in the past like 2, 3 years that she like broke out and like became like Ava Max, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, yeah, she's
Yeah. So this might be a tricky question for you, but if you could write a song with a singer in the industry, who would it be?
ooh. If I could write a song with anyone,
Yeah,
um,
anyone. Even if they're like it can be anyone that's still here or it can be someone that passed already.
um, hmm, I I would love to write a song with Max Martin and just be like, yo, I wrote a song with Max Martin. Like, I feel like that would be such a flex. Like, ah, probably Max Martin. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
producer, he's not really a singer, but I guess singer-wise, probably like Ed Sheeran or or Taylor Swift, just because I just adore them, and I that's just like, come on, like.
Who doesn't like them? Like
I
seriously.
mean, like they're fucking sorry, I don't mean to swear. They're topping the charts and like
Yeah.
they do everything. So I'm like, yes, I would love to write a song with them. Um, or Max Martin.
Yeah.
And I
What
know
is
there's
like
like
your favorite like song by them? Like do you have like a favorite song? Like of
Ed Sheeran did release a song called Visiting Hours and
oh
that
yeah,
song
yeah. That song is
is
so good.
so good. I really, really love that song. Um, there's no way I can pick one for Taylor. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No.
There's no
I
way.
can't pick one for Taylor Swift. There's no possible way.
No. Yeah.
But I if I had to collab with anyone, this is really hard for me. Like seriously, because I like so many singers, but I'll probably choose Michael Jackson for sure.
Really? Okay.
Oh my God. I love Michael Jackson. Like he's amazing, the king of pop. Like no one can be as good as Michael Jackson. Like no one can.
I mean, there you go.
Yeah, he's like his dance move, his voice, the way he dance and treated people. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
nobody as good as him. Like,
No, I mean, seriously, I do a lot of wedding singing and we do a lot of Michael Jackson at weddings. So
oh really?
people love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's no one. Like there's so many singers now. People are always like, oh, this person. No, people can live up to his potential, really. Like can live up to it, but there's no one as good as him. Like
Yeah.
I always ask a bunch of people. And I was like, how do you feel about Michael Jackson? Like, how do you feel about him? And they're like, what can I say about him? He's king of pop. What can we say?
Yeah.
What can we say? No one can be as good as his potential. Like, he's just amazing. Michael Jackson. Like, oh, I wish he was still here to make more music, but I.
Yeah.
So, like, what is some advice for people who would like to become a singer-songwriter one day?
Well, I feel like I'm still trying to become a singer-songwriter. Um, I I don't know. I guess for people who are like just starting out, I would just say just write as much as you can. You know, I think it's really easy, especially now, it's really easy to get caught up in like, I just need numbers, I just need fans, I just need followers, I just need whatever. But it's like, you need music. If you want to be a musician, then you need to make good music. And the rest will kind of like fall into place, you know? Like obviously it depends on what your goals are. If you're trying to just be a songwriter, then just write songs, write tons of songs, like so many songs. You are your songs. So like have as many songs as possible. If you're trying to be an artist, then perform, you know, write songs, go out and perform them, go to an open mic, like just get yourself out there as much as you can now that things are open and back up. So like just do it. I mean, I don't think that there's like one way to do it. I don't know if I'm even like qualified enough to like give advice. I think my advice would just be like, um, do as much as you can, but don't overwhelm yourself. Like don't like think that you have to get everything done in one day. If you don't feel like writing a song today, don't do it. People are going to tell you you need to write a song every day and like be practicing every day. I'm like, no, you don't. You really don't. Like you can take your time with it. You should be doing it consistently you want, but I think like taking time to figure out what you want to write about, how you want to create your creative process, you know? So I think that that's really important. Figuring out what kind of artist you want to be and what kind of message you want to spread, what your brand is really important. And that takes time. So like be patient with yourself and do it because you love it.
Yeah, I agree with that because like most of the people in this industry or in this in general always expect like singer-songwriters or just people in the industry to do what you do every day. This do you have to do write music every single day, you have to do something, you have to at least do this for your thing. I'm like, and sometimes people are like, no, I don't need to do this every single day. It's like this is not how we kind of do. You can work every day, you can do whatever kind of what works for you. But
Yeah.
for singer-songwriters, like you need a break. Like if like from you just came out with a song, you need a break for a couple of days and you write a new one. Like it's a kind of people always expect singer-songwriters to like always always throw stuff out there and do stuff and always expect you to write music, always expect you to do something with music. And that's kind of like all like pressure wise and always expect you to be this person. And
Yeah.
you're your own person, no one's perfect, like you're your own person. And
Yeah.
you don't need to live up to someone's expectations of like what they want you to be. Like you can be your own person, you're amazing. Like
Mhm.
don't forget that. Like you're coming out of your dreams are coming true. Like, don't worry about what other people think. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite thing so far about being a singer songwriter?
Um, I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, what do I like more, like writing or performing? And I sometimes I think I like writing more, and I think I just like the collaboration and I like creating the music. But I performed last night at this club, and I was like, I really love this. I really enjoy it. Um, like when you're so confident in one of your songs and you feel really good about it, and it sounds good, and you feel good singing it. Um, it feels really good, you know? So I really, really, really enjoy that. And I don't know what I like better. But sometimes I like writing better, sometimes I like performing better. Sometimes I absolutely hate writing and I hate like I don't hate sessions, but I'll just hate like I'm stuck in something or I can't finish something or I don't feel good about something. So I don't like when that happens, or I'll go to a show and like maybe there's not as many people as I want to be there, or maybe the sound system is really crappy, or maybe like you know, something happened and I was messing up a lot, and like that's when I don't like performing, you know. So um, I like it when it feels good, and most of the time it feels good. So I really
Yeah, I
don't know.
love it. Like, nothing's really better than performing in front of people, getting yourself out there, trying to
Yeah,
make yourself known and trying to show people your creativity. That's kind of what I love about performing and seeing shows and concerts and all that. Is like I can try to see people what they have to show. I love to see what people had to show,
yeah,
what they need to say. Like I always pay attention. I was like, oh, I like love this person. Like this
yeah,
person is amazing. And so like it's nothing better than going to shows, performing, talking to people, and just doing
yeah.
nothing better than performing and singing. Like nothing
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah.
So the final question for today's interview is, what is your goal you hope to reach for yourself as a singer?
Hmm. I think my goal would be to create like a community that like as a performer, I would love to have a fan base that's more of a community than just a fan base. Like I feel like people who are really into Taylor Swift or into Ed Sheeran, there's something really special about those people because when they go to a show, they feel like they're friends with everybody because they're
Yeah.
really connected to this one artist or to their music. So, and I think that that's something only a handful of artists have. You know, there's not a lot of people that'll go to a concert and like turn to the person next to them and be like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." You know, a lot of times you're kind of like you're with your group and like you're with your person who you came with or by yourself or whatever. So as a performer, I would love to create that kind of community for people where they feel like so connected to the music that they are connected to each other and they feel very heard and they feel very listened to, and they feel very seen. Um, and that's like kind of like my whole thing is like the idea of feeling heard and feeling seen because there's no greater feeling in the world than like when someone listens to you. So I think that creating that kind of environment for people when they come to shows or just when they're listening to music is my goal. And then as a songwriter, I think it's to just tell stories as much as I can and share other people's stories and my own and create random stories. I just like being creative and I like storytelling. Um, and career wise, I would love to like write a song for a movie and like tour all over the world and like do all that kind of stuff. But I think I want to make music and be happy. That's my
I
goal.
love it. Yeah, like that's really one of my dreams is like put my whole like make a fan base, be creative, have people by my back and always supporting and all of that, like you said. And don't and you have me behind you. I'm a fan, like I said before. You have me behind you.
Thank you.
It is, and you have me behind you. And so I'm very thankful to have you on this podcast. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad to have you on, and
Thanks for
we'll
having me.
speak soon.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice to talk to you. I'm glad we finally got to sit down and do this. If you have any other questions, just let me know. I'd love to talk to you more. But yeah, I'm rooting for you too, and I will follow your journey as well. I'm really excited to see where you
Thank
go.
you so much. So if you ever need anything with your career, whatever you need, this Sunday them, I'm here. And thank you so much. I can't wait to see everything that you do. We'll definitely speak soon.
Sounds good, girl. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
See you soon. All right, bye.